Like this video and subscribe to the channel right now, and get 1 week of amazing luck. Swimming is a fantastic pastime, especially in the sweltering summertime. There are times when all you want to do is cool yourself by taking a plunge into the nearby body of water. However, just because some swimming areas seem safe doesn't imply they actually are. So, we've compiled a list of locations that are amazing and rejuvenating but also quite risky. So, if you know what's good for you, don't even consider swimming. Listen to our advice or you might come to regret it. Here are the 10 most dangerous swimming spots in the world. Number 10. Jacob's Well. It seems like a lot of fun to dive into Jacob's Well until you realize how dangerous it is. The number of deaths in this well, at least 9, is high when compared to the number of visitors. As a result, it is regarded as one of the most hazardous diving locations in the world. It boasts challenging rooms 80 feet below the surface of the ocean and a foaming exit that has caught at least one diver. The fourth chamber is the most hazardous, requiring divers to squeeze through a small corridor. Only a small percentage of those who go through this ordeal survive. When 2 men from Texas were trapped in a single cave in 1979 and drowned, rescuers who attempted to retrieve the men's remains nearly suffocated. One of them was briefly stranded below the waist. He was lucky to be recovered by other divers, but his stomach had ruptured. Although Jacob's Well is one of the most beautiful spots to visit, travelers don't appear to stop there despite the terrifying tales associated with it. However, you should be aware of caves. Only experts who practice swimming in dangerous situations can survive the tough circumstances here. Number 9. The Satara River, Indonesia. Although swimming in the water seems exhilarating, visiting the Satara River in Indonesia is not really enjoyable. The amount of harmful substances in this body of water is astounding, and it boasts 1,000 times more lead than the US threshold for safe drinking water, according to studies. The government has taken tough action against businesses that disobey water disposal regulations in an effort to purge the water of toxins. Installing CCTV cameras along riverbanks to monitor offenders and dissuade them from future environmental damage was one strategy to stop the unlawful activity. Until you relocate to certain areas of the river and notice that you can't see the water there, you might not realize how dangerous this river is. Even if you catch a glimpse of the water, you'll notice that it is colored as a result of too many hazardous chemicals. Its surface is covered by an unbelievable amount of waste, rubbish, and dead animals floating on it. The 25 million people who depend on this river for water, energy, and agriculture benefit from it despite the horrible conditions here. Unfortunately, diving into this water puts you at risk for respiratory disorders and skin diseases like rabies infections. Number 8. Queensland, Australia. Because the beaches in Queensland are so dangerous, the government introduced a program called Shark Safety that uses nets or drumlines to lessen the high risk of sharks in the area. One fatal attack has allegedly occurred since the program's inception, according to officials. But since 1700, the town has seen 163 assaults and 45 fatalities. Sharks, marine stingers, blue ring octopuses, crocodiles, and other croaky creatures are among the deadly marine species that inhabit the sea. Although swimming on Queensland beaches is fantastic, be aware that sharks frequent the area's waterways, canals, streams, and estuaries. The best spot to swim at patrolled beaches with shark control equipment is between the flags. This guarantees that the siren will ring to alert you to leave the area when lifesavers arrive. Box jellyfish and other marine stingers were a problem in the region. Even though these critters are always in the ocean, the risk is greatest from November to May. If you see any of these creatures on the beach, don't approach them. Consider wearing a full-body robe as well to shield yourself from them. There are no strict guidelines to follow because crocodiles don't always give warning before an attack, but you may take note of the warning signs in the water and keep an eye out for them. When Australia can provide you with some other treats, there's no need for you to endanger your life in Queensland. Number 7. The Samisan Hall, Thailand. Even experienced divers find this incredible mansion in Thailand disturbing because of how far below the surface the water is, and how unlikely it is that you will be able to swim back to the surface. Strong currents have been a problem in this location for a very long time. The hole is 280 feet deep in the soil. Since this pit was once a military disposal site, divers aren't surprised to find remnants of military equipment there, which just makes the situation worse. If you must enter the hall, you must have received proper technical training and be outfitted with deep diving gear. Interestingly, not everyone who appears to be well protected survives this hole unharmed. Technical diving director Steve Burton said that in 1998, he performed his first successful dive to the bottom of his hole. He had bad luck that day because the subsurface lights imploded and 3 of the 4 dive computers failed, leaving him lost underneath until he was able to escape. Number 6. The Amazon Base, South America. If you want to take some practical lessons home with you, try swimming in the Amazon basin. In addition to piranhas, there are stories that the kangaroo fish also dwell there. Humans frequently become prey to deadly aquatic species when they insist on encroaching on their space. What is said about these small critters, do you know? It's typically advised not to travel alone through the Amazon River since they can get into your urinary tract and interfere with your reproductive system. Residents who have used the water advise you to stay away from hazardous regions so you can be safe. Although the Amazon River is stunning and offers one of the world's best protected native environments, this is no justification for being carefree. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, but this river is the greatest in terms of both length and water volume. It has 1,000 tributaries. The Amazon River catches up quickly. Along with the kangaroo and piranhas, other deep-sea species include jaguars, poison dart frogs, black caimans, and many others. If you've seen the movie Anaconda, you'll realize the risk you take by swimming in the Amazon River. When an attack occurs in this river, individuals live by a stroke of luck. Number 5. The Boiling Lake. Some visitors ignore this fact and are killed by the steam since Dominica, the name of the lake, clearly alerts you to the danger that exists there. The lake may boil at temperatures of up to 194 degrees Fahrenheit, which is thought to be the result of heat from a magma chamber beneath it. The lake has a diameter of between 200 and 250 feet. There have been changes in the lead actor since 1880 when it vanished and created a mountain of steam and hot water. Nevertheless, during the same period from December 2004 to April 2005, it dropped by 33 feet. Tour guides claimed that the lake was no longer boiling and that the water level had significantly dropped in November 2016. Pictures of individuals swimming in boiling hot water throughout history were shown after that. This lake has gone through various rounds of cooling, drying, and boiling. Despite how inviting it may seem, swimming here is risky. Authorities have made every effort to prohibit swimming in this area, particularly for prolonged durations. In December 1901, when 2 individuals perished as a result of the lake's powerful gas releases. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take me 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal: you just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribes button and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 15 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 4. Blue Lagoon, UK. If you spent so much time planning your trip to the UK and a friend offered you to see the Blue Lagoon, you would likely be excited. However, if you learn what the authorities think of the location, your excitement might turn to worry. They not only are aware of the risks present there, they also forbid tourists from swimming there. The Blue Lagoon is compared by the police as taking a bleach bath. The water in the lime quarry near Harper Hill on the outskirts of Buxton is alluring, but it's also lethal. One of the most hazardous waterways in the UK, according to experts, contains high alkaline levels equivalent to bleach and is so deadly that it may burn off the skin. The police have issued a fresh caution for visitors and terrorists who attempted to jump into the ocean due to the regular hot weather in the UK. The authorities chose to dye the water black because the majority of visitors aren't deterred, and there is also a sign warning people that the water may irritate their eyes and skin, create gastrointestinal problems, and result in fungal diseases. This lagoon was previously utilized as a landfill for many types of waste, including feces, trash, wrecked cars, and dead animals. Number 3. River Nile. If you cherish your arms, legs, and other essential body parts, the thought of swimming here shouldn't break your mind. It bothers me that somebody would choose the River Nile of all the locations to swim. These waterways have seen hundreds of crocodile attacks, and there is no way to prevent becoming a victim. If you're planning to take a deep dive, make sure to double check that there are no of this 500-pound, 16-foot-long reptiles nearby. Additionally, you run the chance of getting Bulgaria disease, an infection brought on by parasitic freshwater worms. If you persist in diving here, you could become one of the 400 to 200 people who succumb to the disease each year. The water is made unclean for close contact by locals who dump their rubbish in it. Some factories purposefully place the contaminated water along the riverbank to facilitate easier water disposal. Unfortunately, it's challenging to convince the residents to abandon their long-standing practice of improper trash disposal. The Nile is the longest river in the world, flowing through 11 nations. It is important for preserving African flora and fauna and has an impact on the local cultures. Number 2. Reunion Island. Two buddies were surfing on Reunion Island on July 22, 2015, when a little incident took place. Out of nowhere, two bull sharks approached and made an attempt to eat them. They were unprepared for the beast's ferocity, but as they battled with all their strength, the water that had previously been white turned crimson and then red. The sharks broke up the fight and swam away after repeatedly cutting one man's arms. The two men were able to swim back to land and receive proper medical attention, with one man losing an arm but remaining alive. This incident is only one of hundreds that take place on Reunion Island, where swimming is prohibited due to the high number of shark attacks there. More than 11 people have been killed and 50 others have been attacked by sharks in the area's seas since 2011. When the water temperature changes, bull sharks become more hostile. Reunion Island should be avoided because of the dangers there, according to Dr. La Gabrielli, who thinks that these species' effectiveness may be related to the volcano that is active there. Number 1. Lake Victoria, Africa. The third largest lake on Earth, Lake Victoria, is incredibly unpredictable due to its size. One wind-whipped wave can easily knock someone off their boat. There are allegations that it claims more than 5,000 lives each year, although this number doesn't accurately reflect the threat. Visitors to this lake enjoy studying the numerous fish species that call it home, but watercraft mishaps and drownings are frequent occurrences. Even if you persist in swimming in this water, you run the risk of contracting a tropical disease spread by infected snails because the extreme weather forces most boats to capsize, leaving the occupants powerless. The parasite that causes this illness, which is widespread throughout much of Africa but is not lethal like malaria, causes unpleasant symptoms in the patient. It can permanently harm a person's organs if not treated in a timely manner. Again, you may want to exercise caution around the hippos and crocodiles that prowl the water because running into them frequently results in tragic consequences.